Okay guys, once again, welcome back for part 6, and this is where we left in part 5. And before I start coding, let me tell you this. I'm going to add a link in the description below. You will be able to click on that link, and that link will lead you to a folder. That folder contains part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. So after that, download it, okay, and now you can continue taking apart coding part 5, part 6, and so on. So let me show you. This is what I'm going. This is the name of the folder. The folder has part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. The folder link, I'm going to add this link in the description below. Click on this link and you will get access to part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Okay, now let's go. This is where we left in part 5. We built this for part 5. Now, let's go back to our code and we create an admin folder. Right click on admin folder, click on new file. Let's call it index.php. Click enter. And we need a second file inside of the admin folder. Click on admin folder and click on new file. Call it main.php. Okay. And now I want you to open index.php. Let's start coding. Now I'm going to create the dashboard for admin. Let me show you what I'm doing right now. Okay, what I'm going to do. Let me log in. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to build this side first. Okay, this sidebar. Admin panel, dashboard, comment, filter setting, this side, okay? Okay, in part 6, let's go back to our code editor. Now, let's create a H2 and call it dashboard, okay? And now I want you to create a div for me. Create a div called dashboard, like this. And I want you to expand this one. What I can do, I'm going to comment this and say, and this is the end of dashboard. This is the opening, this is the closing. Okay. And I want you to go inside here. I want you to create a class called content block, like this, space, start. And inside of this content blocks start, create header h3 and call it today's, capital C, comments. Okay, and after this closing content of block, call I and pass a class, call it fr space fr clock. Now the first I call it comment. Okay, like this. Now okay, no, put the I inside of the closing. Okay. Okay, cut I. We forgot to create a div. Cut this one, line of code. And inside of this div, content block start. And go here, create another div. No class. This is where we have to pass h3. Let's cut this one and paste it here. Okay, now we're good. Okay. Okay, now we create this div for dashboard. This is the end of dashboard, closing. Now we create another div called content block start, opening, closing. And we create another div and we pass h3, header h3 called today's comment. And after the closing, content. Okay, after this div, this div, okay, h3, go after that, and this is where you have to pass we use a class called fr space fr dash, we call it comment. Okay, now I want you to go to the next line, skip one line and create a div, call it a class. Inside of this class, call it content block space start, like this. And inside, go do the same thing, create another div, okay, and with no class, okay, like the same thing, create a div and create another div and pass h3, okay, call it today's, after comment, call it awaiting approval, like this. Okay, and after that I want you to pass after this closing div here and create a class, call it fr space, and call the first one, the second one, the first one we call it comment, and the second one call it let me say, call it clock. It should be clock. Let's see, yeah, call it clock. Okay, the first one we call it comment, and the second one we call it clock. Okay, okay, now go for the third block of code, create a div, a class called content block start, like this, and go inside, create another div. Oh, this div, we don't need a no class. No class for this one. And I want you to pass okay, we call it total comment, and the second one awaiting approval, we call it total comment, we call it awaiting approval. And now we call this one called h3. Now let's pass h3, and I want you to call it total comment, capital C, comment. Okay, the first one is today's comment, okay, awaiting approval. Now here, total comment, and pass here, and the class, call it fr space fr, at this time call it comment, like this. Okay, is the okay. Now this is okay. Let me put something we can differentiate. This is number 3, and put a comment number 2, second line of block of code, and go inside here and put number 1. This is the first line of code, block of code, second block of code, okay, and this is the third block of code. I want you to go here, skip one line. Let me put this is a fourth block of code, okay. Now create a div and class called content block space start, okay. Now, and inside here, create a div no class, and pass a header h3 and call this one total pages like this. Okay, and pass I after this closing one here, and class call fr file alt okay, and bring this up. This is the closing. Okay, this is for dash. This is the closing dashboard. This is the end of dashboard, and save everything. Okay, you save everything and go back to our browser, and let me show you here now. Okay, advanced folder, advanced commenting /admin / now put index.php, click enter. Okay, we got all of this. Okay, now go back to our code. Okay, now on top of this, let's create another file. Now we have main, we already got main.php. We created two main files, index.php. Okay, this is index.php. We're done with index.php. Now open, I want you to open main.php. This is main.php. Open main.php. We'll add some, okay, line of code. The first thing inside of main.php, I'm going to add, okay, going to say PHP. Okay, I want to do that. Go inside, and I'm going to start. I'm going to start a session. I'm going to say session start. Okay, and this is where I'm going to include my configuration. Okay, and for this I'm going to say include once. Okay, that period / now I'm going to call config.php for my connection. This is where I got all my connection inside of the config. Okay, database, everything. Okay, and now this is where I'm going to check if the administrator is on login. Okay, check if admin is login. Okay, and I'm going to say if not insert session bracket single quote admin underscore login, like this. And here, this is where I'm going to pass my code. I'm going to say header. I have to redirect the admin header location login.php. This is the login that we created before inside of the admin. Okay, inside of the main folder. Because right now inside of the admin folder we have main.php, login.php, index.php, and admin.css. Okay, put the semicolon here and go to the next line, exit the application like this. Okay, now go after the closing bracket here, go after that. This is where I'm going to use a try catch block. For the catch, I'm going to use PDO exception. Here, I prefer to call exception like this. Okay. Now, inside of the try block, let me expand this. Inside of the try block, I'm going to say PDO equal new PDO. Okay. MySQL host. equals single quote. Okay, MySQL host equal single quote, and space that space db underscore host, space that space. Okay, now okay, MySQL single quote, MySQL host space db underscore host space. Now we need a single quote here, and with a semicolon, db name equal. Now go after the closing single quote, this one, space dot space db underscore name. Okay, space dot space with a semicolon, not semicolon, sorry, in a single quote, put a semicolon here and put charset like this, equal. After the closing single quote here, put a space dot, okay, space, and put db underscore charset like this with a comma, and I'm going to say db underscore user, comma, db underscore pass, and put a semicolon here. Okay. Next, after that, I want to go to the next line. Go to the next line, and I'm going to say PDO like this. Set attribute. Okay. And PDO colon colon PDO colon colon, pretty much the same thing. Exception, and put a semicolon here. Okay. Now, try block done. Now let's go inside of the catch block. Here, I'm going to say now this is where, if there is an error with the connection, this is where we should stop the script and display the error message. For example, I'm going to say exit. Okay, exit failed to connect to database. Okay, put a semicolon. And this is done. Now to go here, and this is where I'm going to create. Now I'm going to create my template header, template admin header. To create that, I'm going to create a function called template admin header. Okay, and inside of this function, I'm going to use I'm going to say title, comma, and selected. Okay, space equal single quote, and put orders as a function for the bracket. And inside, this is where I'm going to pass my admin link. Okay, S space equal single quote, and I want you to expand this single quote, bring it down like this. Okay, and go inside. Watch what I'm doing, guys. Let me bring this up for you. 1 second. Okay, here's the single quote. Bring it down, press enter again, and go inside of it. Inside here, I'm going to use my anchor tag. Here's the closing, is the opening, and is the closing. Okay, now go inside of the first one, open it, put href, equals single quote, put index.php. Okay, put index.php. This is where we close the first one, cut the closing. Okay, let me start over so that you can see. I want you to watch what I'm doing. I don't want you to miss anything. Okay, here's the closing single quote. Now expand it. 1 second. When you expand it, this is where I'm going to pass my anchor tag. Here, A, opening, closing. Okay, now you see what I'm doing. And so the first one, pass href equal double quote, call it index.php. Okay, we can bring this down if you want. And after index.php, we have to create a single quote again and expand it. Put it dot single quote. Okay, and put a space, parentheses, put selected, space equal, and put a single quote here. This is where we put dashboard. Okay, and after this closing single quote here, after dashboard, put a space, question mark, space. Now put a single quote again, and space, put a class, and the class equals double quote, put selected like this. Okay, and here after the closing single quote here, put a space, put a colon, space, and put a single quote. And after that, after the closing parentheses, create a space, put a dot. Okay, space. Now you can go to the next line, bring this down. When you click on enter, okay, you bring this down. Okay, now next, after the closing A anchor tag, this is the first one. Let me show you. Is the first one. I want you to add I here, like this. I. This is the opening I. Okay, and let me add the closing. Is the closing here, or we can add it. Okay, and open. Go inside the first one. Open it. Create a class. Oops. Not like that. Undo. Okay. Create a class. Class equal double quote. Call it fr space. Call it tachometer. Like this. Okay. Call it tachometer here. Okay. And dash alt like this. Okay. Let me increase this so that you can see. Now, is the closing I. And here, before the closing A anchor tag, before the closing anchor tag, here, from the middle here, and I want you to put dashboard. Okay. And next, after that, go to the next line, create another anchor tag. Here's the opening, and here's the closing. And go inside of the first one, put href like this, equal double quote, comment.php. We will have to create this one after, comment.php after, inside of the admin folder after. Okay, and now after the closing double quote, create a single quote, add a single quote, and put a space, that space. Okay, and parentheses, $sign selected, space, equal space, add, put a single quote, and put comments and go after the closing single quote of comments, put a space, put a question mark space, put a single quote, and inside of the single quote create a class like this, equal single quote, and put a selected, okay, put a selected, and after selected, okay, after selected, after the closing single quote here, let me explain this. After the closing single quote here, put a space, okay. After the space, put a colon space, put a single quote. All right, and after the single quote, let me go. Okay, let me go after and bring this down after the single quote. Okay, after the parentheses is the single quote. After the closing parentheses, we can bring this down, and we go now. We go to the next line and bring this. Okay. After that, this is where I'm going to add. Put a I. Pretty much same thing. Put the I here. Okay. Opening I is the closing I. Okay. And open the first one. Here is the first one. Go inside, open it, and create a class equal double quote fr, okay, fr space, and now I call it comment, okay. I call it comment. After that is the closing I, okay, closing I, and this is a closing A anchor tag, and from the middle here, I want you to add comment, capital C, capital D, capital C. Okay. Now, what I want you to do here, go to the next line. I want you to create, okay, another anchor tag is the opening, is the closing. I want you to go inside the first one, put href like this, equal double quote. Let me expand this a little bit so that you can see. Okay, href double quote. Call this one filters.php. Okay, and after the closing double quote here, put add a single quote here and space. Okay, and put it that space parentheses and selected. Okay, and put a space equal like this, space, put a single quote, and put a filters. After, okay, now after the closing single quote, go space, put a question mark space, put a single quote again, space, and add a class equal double quote, selected like this, okay. And after the closing single quote here, selected, after the closing single quote here, put a space, put a colon, space, and put a single quote. All right. Now after the we forget to add something here on this line of code. I want you to add a dot, okay, space, add a dot for me, okay. After the closing parentheses, this is a dot, this dot, add it for me, okay. And here, this line, after the parentheses, you have to say space, add a dot, and click enter, go to the next line, okay. And now this is where I go here, I put open, this is the opening I, this is the closing I, okay. And this is going inside the first opening I, and add a class, okay, call it FR, FA, dash filters. This is let me explain this a little bit. Okay, fa dash filter. Okay, and from the middle here, this is the closing I. From the middle here, I want you to put capital F filter like this. Okay, and I want you to go to the next line. This is the fourth anchor tag. Okay, a opening anchor tag is the closing one. Now go inside the first one, put href equal double quote, a class equal double quote. Okay, call that class. Oh, we don't need a class. Href, no, not a class. Sorry. Okay, this is the fourth anchor tag. 1, 2, 3, 4. Href equal double quote, and inside the double quote put settings that, okay, with s dot php, and after the closing double quote after settings, put a single quote space, that space parentheses, and put selected. After selected space equal space single quote, and I want you to put settings like this, and after the closing single quote put a space, question mark, space, single quote, space, put a class equal double quote, and put a selected. Okay, now after this closing single quote here, put space, put colon, space, and put a single quote. Now after the closing parentheses, put a space and put a dot, and press enter, bring you to the next line. Now after that, this is where here we are going to pass opening I, okay, and here's the closing I, and go inside the first I, go inside of the first I, create a class, double quote, call it fa space, fa dash tools, okay, like this. This is the closing I. Go here, from the middle here, put setting, capital S, settings. Okay, this is it. Okay, and here, remember we have a closing, and here is our closing single quote. Put a semicolon here. Remember, is the opening single quote, is the closing single quote, and put a semicolon at the end. Okay. Now what I'm going to use next, go to the next line. Now I'm going to use I'm going to say I have to echo everything. I'm going to say echo. At this time I'm going to use end of, okay, end of text, EOT. This is how you use it. Okay, I'm going to say EOT stand for end of text. I'm going to, because I'm going to pass a HTML code inside of this PHP. Okay, now I say EOT, okay, and go to the next line. And now you say I have to say HTML. You can create an anchor tag. Put it that, okay, doc type. I'm going to say capital, with capital letter I use it. I'm going to say doc type like this, HTML. Okay, I'll close it and go here, and I'm going to say HTML and go next. Okay. inside of the body, and the first one, remember to close HTML, guys. The first thing I want you to close is end of text right here, EOT. Copy this and paste it. This is the bracket. This is the opening. Okay, this is the function on template admin. Oh, okay, fix this. I put it's supposed to be header D. Okay, function template admin underscore header, and this is the opening here. Okay, is the closing. Also, we say equal end of text. Now we open it here, copy and paste it here in front of, okay, in front of this closing. This is the end. I'm going to I'm going to okay, name it. This is the end of, okay, this is the end of function template underscore admin header. Copy this. Okay, now we can see, okay, this is the closing, is the opening. Okay, now we close this EOT. As we close it, I want you to put a semicolon at the end. Okay, also I want you to close HTML. Okay, here's the opening. Okay, HTML here, and I want you to close it on top of EOT. Close it like this, HTML. Okay, you close it, and here's the closing body. Okay, now inside of the body, and the first one, go inside of it and create a class. Double quote. Let's call this class admin. Okay, and go to the next line, and now I'm going to create a side. Remember, guys, we created the template for the admin. We created admin template. Okay, now this is a opening a side. This is the closing. Okay, like this. Now, and go first one, I'm going to add a class called responsive dash width. Okay, like this, 100 space. I'm going to put a responsive hidden. Okay, let me explain. Let me make this bigger so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I think I'm bigger enough. Okay, go inside the S side. This is where I'm going to pass H1, add a H1, open, close, and I'm going from, okay, from the middle here. I'm going to call it admin space. This is admin panel. Okay, and go to the next line. This is where I'm going to pass my link called admin link. Remember, this is where I call it. Okay, I say admin link, and I pass all of this variable here. Now this is where I'm going to call it inside of, okay, inside of the A side. I'm going to say $sign admin link. Okay, and close. Let me bring this up. Okay, now you have an idea so far. And I want you to go after closing a site and create main for me, like this. Okay, main. Go inside of it, create a class equal double quote, call it responsive dash toggle. Okay, and put the href after the closing. Okay, double quote here, equal double quote, and put a pound sign. Okay, next after that, go to the next line. I want you to create a header. this is where I'm going to pass a header. I'm going to say header opening is the closing, okay, and go inside of it, and I'm going to pass an anchor tag. This is opening, this is the closing anchor tag, okay. When in here, and inside of the first one, pass, I'm going to add a class equal, call it responsive, okay, toggle. Okay, let me see if I pass it. Okay, I want you to cut this for me. Cut this out. Delete this href here instead of the main class here, responsive. Cut this out. We don't need it here. And we should pass it over here. Okay, put href like this, equal double quote, pound sign. Okay, and go inside of the anchor tag A, okay, this here, go inside of it and create I, okay, this opening, and this is the closing. Now, inside of the first one, I want you to pass a class f a space f, this is f a bar, like this, bars. Okay, now this is done. Now I want you to go after the closing anchor tag here, go after that, and create a div. This is the opening div, and this is the closing div. Now, what I want you to do, I want you to go to the first one, create a class. I'm going to call it space, like this, space between. Call this class space between, and go next after that, next line, go to the next line, and go to the next line, add an anchor tag, A, opening, closing, and the first, go inside of the first one, add a href, equal double quote, call it, you can call it, or do we have to pass this? Okay, that's fine. Let me, I don't have to pass this one. Let me see, in between this class, okay. Okay, we don't have to pass this. Okay, we don't have to pass this class. Let's pass another class. Okay, put another anchor tag here. Opening, closing. Okay. The first block of code, anchor tag, and we pass a div and pass another anchor tag. Okay. And so the first one, we need an href equal double quote. At this time, call it logout.php. Okay. And go next after the closing double quote here, space, a class equal double quote, call it right. And here, I want you to pass, let me explain this, go inside of this anchor tag. Okay, go inside of it, this is the block of code. Go inside here and pass I for me, opening, closing. Okay. And the class, the first one, class equal double quote, call it phase, okay, like this. Okay. And header, this all inside it. Okay, this is for header part. Okay, this is header section. Okay, now what I want you to do, I want you to bring this up. Okay. Okay, this okay. Pretty much this is it, guys. For and save. Don't forget to save everything. Save all. Now, save everything. This main.php is done. And what I want you to do now, I want you to go back, open. I want you to open index.php and scroll up. This is where I'm going to call main. I'm going to call main.php. Okay. I'm going to say PHP. Okay. And inside of the PHP, I want you to add include, okay, single quote, main.php and semicolon. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do next, let's try and run this program, save index.php, save it, save all, and go back to our browser, and here, advanced commenting, this is advanced commenting, /admin, folder admin, and / put index.php and click enter. Okay. Now, it won't let us run this program. Do you know why, guys? Now we can try to log in. Remember that? You can try to log in because we're done with login.php. This is the username is password admin. Okay. Username admin and password admin. And click login. Okay. Now here's the output. Here's our output. If you try to put index.php, you won't be able to run this program. To see this output, you have to log in first. Okay. And here's our output. Now let's go back to our code. Now I'm going to add some CSS. What I want you to do, I want you to go inside of the admin folder and open admin. Okay, I want you to open admin.css. Okay, this is admin.css. I'm going to add some code. Scroll down. This part for login. This is, I'm going to put it like this. This section is for admin template. Okay, put it like this. This is for admin template. Okay. Now open. I'm going to work with a side. This is it. We have a side here. On side. Okay. If you open main.php and go to a side, this is our a side. Closing a side. This is the opening, and this is the closing. Okay. Go now here. I'm going to say a site. Put it like this. Let me expand this so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, put a site. We need our position fixed. Should be fixed. And for the z index, let me put a number 69 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and we need a height of 100%. Our height should be 100%. If we save this, okay, save this, okay, save our program, and let's try to run it. Go to our browser and refresh the page. Okay, you can see nothing yet. Let's go back and add a few more code. Next line, we need a width a width of 260, okay, pixel. I want to display flex, also flex flow. I want flex flow should be colon, and the background. Now I need the background color of the pound side 26, 29, and 2F, like this. Now save everything and go back. Let's refresh the page. Okay, nothing yet so far. Okay, now one thing I want you to go back for me. I want you to go back and open. I want you to go back and open index.php inside of the admin folder. Here, I want you to add something. Add some line of code. Put the PHP, okay, like this, and close it. Let me show you. And go inside of it. And I want you to put template underscore admin header right here. I want you to put this line of code on top of the dashboard inside of the index.php and save everything. Let's go back and refresh the page. Okay. Okay, we have undefined constant template header online. Okay, index.php line on line 5. Okay, undefined this. We need more. We have to add more code. Okay, I want you to go after that. After template underscore admin underscore header, we need a parentheses. Okay, single quote. I want you to put dashboard. Okay, put dashboard, and after the closing single quote, put a comma space, and put a single quote again, and put dashboard like this. Okay, with this line of code, and save everything, and let's go back and refresh the page. Okay, so far so good. We have this is our output so far. Okay, and go back to our program. Open now. Let's go back to admin.css and add some more code. Now, next we're working with a side. Remember that. Next, we want a side. Let me show you. Go to main.php. Now I need a side h1. Now we need a side h1. This is a side, okay, and then h1, okay. And I'm going to say a side h1, and I want it to display inline flex, okay. Next line, and I want the background color of this color pounds 5572 BD, like this. Next line, I want a width. Nope. I want a width of 100%. Our height 55 pixels. Our color, this is the color 123F. Okay. For the padding should be 0. Also for the margin, our margin should be 0. I need a font width here. Font width of 600, like this. And I need a font size of 14 pixels, not too big. And I need the align items, should be center. I need another padding of 0.20 pixels. And also I want to justify content. My justified content should be center. Okay, now we can save everything. Save all. Okay, and go back to our browser and refresh it. Let's go back. Inside H1 display. Okay, display. Let's see what. Okay. 100% is our height. 55 pixel. Our color. Okay, this is fine. Padding, margin, font weight. Font size 14 pixel. Align item center, padding 0.20. Okay, and justify to be center. Okay, refresh the page. Okay, now let's go back and add. Now we need a side A for the anchor tag. Okay, on the font size of 14 pixel, a font weight of 600 like this, and I need text decoration because I want to remove. Let me show you. I want to remove all of this, right? Text decoration none. Also, I'm going to pass a color pound sign. These are our color. Is for the color. Now I want a padding of 15 pixel. No, that's 15. Top left 20 pixel right here, and save everything. Let's go back to our browser and refresh it. Okay, it's not maybe something. Okay, let me scroll up to see what is missing. What is missing? I think okay, display in light flex. This looks good. Let me go back to main.php. Open main.php. Let me go back and figure it out. Okay, log out. This is A. It's our the header. Okay, this is try to figure out if we miss something. Okay, pretty much looking good. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so far so good. Now let's go back to our code and add. Okay, now we done. Okay, a side A. Let me scroll down and add. This is a side at this time a I now. Okay, and put a width of 40 pixel. Save it, and let's go back and refresh the page. Nothing yet. And let's go back again, and I'm going to say a side that close like this. Display none. Okay, save it. Let's go back and refresh the page. Nothing yet. Okay guys, I don't have any output. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to clear, go here. I go here. Okay, I'm going to clear my cache so that maybe you probably get output, but me, I don't have any output. I'm going to clear my browsing data. This is clear for last hour and clear data. Okay, and one more clear. at this time for last 24 hours to see if I don't have any cache. That's why I don't have any output. Okay, let's go back. And now let me try. Now you can try to log in. You can log in right now. Username for admin, and the password is admin. Okay, and click on login. Okay, now we got the output. That's why I clear my cache. Sometimes if you don't clear your cache history and you try to run your program and it gives you you have no output. If you want to clear it for last hour or last 24 hours, now probably get an output. Now I got the output. This is our output. Okay, this is our output, and this is index.php. Okay, this is admin panel, dashboard. Okay, and comment. There is nothing yet. We're not add anything yet. Okay, for settings, nothing yet. Okay, we finish with this. Okay, this sidebar. Okay, here we're done with this. So we work with a side. Everything is our code inside of the admin.css. Okay, guys, we're done. We've finished with this part. Okay, we finished with this part. Now we need to add when we click. Okay, when you click on the dashboard, as soon as you log in as administrator, you will see what's inside of the dashboard. But for comment, you can click on comment and you can write your comment, and also add comment. Also for filter, you can filter. Also for settings. Yes, we're done. This is part 6. Okay, we create admin panel and finish this part. Okay, and let me show you. Okay, this is try to. Okay, new browser. And then, okay, and if this is the. Okay, now we're building this part. Let me show you here. Okay, I finished this part here, right here. Okay, this is what we're working on right now. This part, I finish it, and now we have to add all of this. Okay, all of these features. Okay, now this part is done. Okay, this part is done, and this is where I'm going to stop for part 6. All right, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your time. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe. And thank you. Bye bye. If you got any errors, let me know in the comment box below. Also, don't forget, I will add the link that I told you before in the beginning. I'll post this link in the description below. You will get access to download it, and inside of this folder you will find part 1, part 2, part 3, and part 4. Okay, I think that will help you out along the way. You can and then continue coding with me. I thank you. See you in the next one for another tutorial. Thank you. Bye bye.